Does a Scuf controller make you better at Call of Duty Warzone? Quick, simple, easy answer. Yes. Yes, it does. Use code REID, code REID at scuf.co/Reidboyy, link in the description. But realistically, yes. Yes, they do. The opportunities for improvement that come with using a Scuf controller over a default PS4, PS5, Xbox, whatever kind of controller you want to use, the opportunity to be better is insane. There are so many different options between customizability and the way it looks to different buttons and remappable paddles, so you can change your controller to however you want to fit your needs. I personally use the Reflex FPS model for my PS5 Scuf controller. There's the Reflex Pro, Reflex FPS. The most important thing to me is that FPS, the instant triggers. The instant triggers that I use are the most important part of a Scuf controller. Not even paddles. Paddles are great, but that is not the most important part to me. What matters the most is that my triggers become instant mouse clicks, and that the reason why that's important, especially in FPS games, Warzone, Call of Duty, is that is giving you free reaction time rather than a more default controller. This is a controller I have without the triggers. Rather than a default controller where you have to push all the way down on the button, we have the instantaneous mouse clicks. That right there, that's a free, couple of milliseconds of reaction time. You might not think that's a big deal. A couple milliseconds, that's not a lot. That's the difference between winning a gunfight and saying, oh, he's one shot, he's right here, he's on me. That's the biggest difference right there that makes for me. And then another added benefit is, again, the remappable paddles on the back. My Scuf controller comes with 4 different paddles. You can remap them to whatever you want. I realistically only use 3. I don't really use this middle left one. I rebinded that to my ping button, and that way if I ever hit it on accident, nothing bad happens. I map my farthest left button to X, which for me is my tactical grenade button, heartbeat, stuns, smokes, whatever you want to throw. Middle right is my melee button. I use that more so to mount up on walls. I don't really melee too often. And the far right I use all the time. That is my slide, drop shot, crouch, go prone, dive. That's my slide button. So I use that. The main concept here with the Scuf controller that makes it so beautiful is you never want to take your thumb off the thumbstick. That is what makes Scuf so much better than everything else, is that if you can run around and use these buttons on the back, you never have to take your thumb off the thumbstick. You are constantly aiming. That is what makes the difference between somebody with a 3 KD and somebody with a 4 KD. Another thing about the Scufs is the lifespan of them. I have never in my life, in my years and years and years of gaming, I have never used a controller that stayed picture perfect after 6 months of using it. Even before I became a streamer, even when I wasn't streaming 8 hours a day playing the game at the highest level, I still could not get any controller, stock, default, PS4, PS5, nothing lasted 6+ months until I got this Scuf controller. I use this controller for almost an entire year now. I think it's been 8 months. I've used this controller. Absolutely zero issues. Zero issues. Only reason why I started using a different one, the one I use right now, only reason why I started using a different one is because I wanted a different design on it. I wanted something newer. But I have had absolutely zero issues with any of my Scuf controllers. I think of like 8 I've had, 1 got some stick drift on it. And then the really cool thing, on to the next step, the really cool thing about a Scuf controller is it is very, very, very easy. If I can do it, that means it's easy. Very easy to just pop off the faceplate on it and boop, take off the thumbstick. If your thumbstick starts getting stick drift, you can do that, blow on it, use some compressed air, whatever, clean it, bang, problem solved. That fixed it. The one controller I had stick drift on, instantly did that, fixed the problem, bang, bang, bang. Now you don't have to go spend $300, $200 on a new controller. And then you can also, if you don't like the default thumbsticks, they send you a pack. They send you a pack with a bunch of them, a bunch of different thumbsticks that you can use. Whether you prefer the concave or the domed, they send you a bunch of different thumbsticks depending on the height that you prefer. Now, I just use my basic Control Freaks because I like the grip. I like the grip that my Control Freaks code Reidboyy on Control Freaks. That's REIDBOYY, 2 Ys at Control Freaks if you want to get one of those. I like the design of the Infernos, so I just always use those on every controller. I just have a whole bunch of them that I just pop on every time I get a new controller. But again, you can just replace the thumbsticks. Super simple, super quick, super easy. Anybody can do it. Anytime there's stick drift, you can fix that. You can replace the thumbsticks. You can put different Control Freaks on, whatever you want to do. Super simple, super easy. And then to put it back on, you just plop it right back in place. I'm so good at this. Right back into place. Bang, bang. And you put the faceplate back on. Problem solved. And then on top of that, also when you're building your Scuf controller using code READ, there are so many different beautiful, sexy designs that you can go with. I myself have a whole collection of them, from my black and red tiger look to the default white PS5 look. Nice clean white and blue aesthetic that we got right here. We've got the Interstellar / Orion camo to match my MW3 achievements. We've got the nice basic default orange look we got going on right here. We've got the blue, red, white, and blue Go America version right here. We got the cleanest one I think I've got is the black and gold with the white trim. That one is absolutely beautiful. I got a lot of Scufs. I like Scuf. What can I say? So what you're going to want to do, you want to go to scuf.co/Reidboyy, the link in the description of this video, and check out the Scuf website where you are going to be able to build your own controller. You can either shop by a pre-built, already made controller for you, which is generally what I get sent to me. So we'll just go with the build your own section right here. Depending on what platform you play on, I recommend you pick that controller, either PlayStation. I play on the PS5, so that's what I'm rocking, is a PS5 Scuf, Xbox controller, or if you play on PC, I definitely strongly recommend you get the Envision Pro. The Envision Pro is beautiful. It's got even more extra added buttons that you get to use compared to everybody else's controller. Again, I don't play on PC. I don't really want any of that, so that's all for you. I'm going to go with the PS5 Scuf, though, considering that's what I use. I personally use the Reflex controller. The Reflex is the one that I go with. So you got a bunch of different customizable options here. If you want to just change the faceplate, you can go with the default black standard or any solid color that you want. I personally always like one of the designer colors. I like the way they look. The tiger stripe red is my go-to favorite, but they have so many constantly changing, you know, camos, you can call them. The Damascus one. They've got Orion or Interstellar, just like your favorite Call of Duty guns. The camo demon loves grinding. So many beautiful, sexy colors, and they're constantly coming out with new ones that look even more beautiful. So we're gonna go with that, the camo on the faceplate, if you will. You can do the faceplate trim. Again, you can choose any basic color that you think. This is more for your aesthetics. This doesn't affect your performance at all. You can go with the basic if you don't want to spend any extra, or if you want to splurge a little bit and customize, go for something crazier. And then the thumbstick. So this right here, I personally throw a Control Freak. Again, that's called Reidboyy on Control Freak. It's Reidboyy with 2 Y's if you want to get one of those. So I use the basic default thumbsticks on these. I just like the Control Freak, the grip more than anything. But if you don't want to buy a Control Freak, you can go with a fancier thumbstick if you want. I do recommend on the left thumbstick you go with short. You want to be quick with your left thumb. You don't need to be as precise. You don't need one of the long ones for that maximum range of motion. Short, concave, or domed, whatever you prefer. That just changes the shape of the thumbstick for those faster, snappier movements. And then you can also change the color to match the aesthetics of the controller. Right thumbstick, though, this is the one where you want long. Whether you add something on top of the controller or you just go with a default long thumbstick, either one works. Again, you can change that aesthetic however you want. But yeah, definitely recommend you somehow in some way have a longer right thumbstick for the maximum range of motion. You could change the rings. You change the rings on the outside of the controller. We're just gonna go all out. We're gonna customize everything just so you can see what the options are gonna look like here. It's gonna look a little goofy. It's gonna look a little goofy at the end. The bumper trigger types, you want the instant triggers. That's again, what I say is the most important thing. Those instant triggers right there. They are definitely worth it. That is the main reason why I love using a Scuf controller. You can change the color of the buttons. You see up there. You change the color of those, of the bumpers and the triggers. You can get different colors on both of them. We're going all out, bro. We're going all out with a goofy goober looking design on this thing. You can change the D-pad, make the D-pad be a different color. You can change the buttons over here. You can make those a different color. You can change these 2 buttons. You can make those a different color. So many customizable options. The home button as well, and then the paddle, or no, not the paddle. So you can do the back, like the whole back part of the controller. Everything will match. I personally like the way the grip feels. I personally am a fan of it. Again, if you don't really care, you don't notice it. It's not that one's not the biggest deal. Rumbles. Almost anybody, anywhere is going to tell you you don't want to play with vibration. I am the weirdo who needs vibration on. I can't shoot straight if my controller is not vibrating. I've had to get a new controller before because the vibration didn't work on it. So most people anywhere are going to tell you out. You can either leave them in and turn them off. Your controller is going to be a little bit heavier, or you can take them out. Your controller is going to be a little bit more lightweight. Either one of those options works. Most people are going to tell you no vibration though. And there you go. We have a beautiful Scuf Reflex custom built controller looking all goofy and wacky. Make sure you use code REID, R-E-I-D, baby, if you want to get one of your own. We are signed all the way through the entirety of 2024.